Myanmar is once again under military rule after a coup on February 1, 2021, deposed its democratically elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi and her government. The junta announced a one-year state of emergency, during which the country will be led by Senior General Min Aung Hlaing, the head of the military known in Myanmar as the Tatmadaw. The coup led to widespread protests across the country. The military responded with bloody crackdowns that have killed hundreds of civilians. After nearly 50 years of military dictatorship, Myanmar began transitioning to democracy in 2011, before landmark elections were held in 2015. The country was run under a power-sharing deal between the civilian government, led by Suu Kyi, and the military. But how did Myanmar's military become so powerful?
Many modern young ladies with plenty of neck, but there must be few with quite as much as Mu Proa, the Burmese giraffe-necked lady.
Myanmar's population includes more than 130 ethnic groups. Formerly known as Burma, it became a British colony in the 19th century and was occupied by Japan during World War II. During this period, divisions deepened between the ethnic groups, many of which took up arms to seek independence or autonomy. When Burma gained independence in 1948 and founded its military, those internal divisions remained. At the time, the army was small and fragmented. Its leaders belonged to different ethnic groups with separate political allegiances. But a series of insurgencies shortly after independence galvanized the military and allowed it to cement power. The military began consolidating its leadership, tightening its grip on the three branches of the armed forces under a single unified command. In 1962, the military ousted Burma's democratically elected government and has maintained its grip on power ever since. It nationalized Burma's businesses and industries and crushed dissent. But in 1988, widespread corruption and economic policy changes imposed by the Tatmadaw led to a major crisis. When protests broke out across the country, Suu Kyi emerged as the figurehead of the opposition, forming her party, the National League for Democracy, or the NLD. The military suppressed the democracy movement through bloody crackdowns. In 1989, the country's official name was changed from Burma to Myanmar. A year later, the NLD scored a landslide victory in the 1990 elections. But the military nullified the results and placed Suu Kyi under house arrest, where she remained for over 15 of the next 21 years. It wasn't until 2011 that Myanmar began implementing democratic reforms after the international community imposed economic sanctions on the military junta. But despite promising democratic elections under a power-sharing arrangement, the junta remained firmly in control. A 2008 constitutional referendum required that 25% of Myanmar's parliamentary seats be filled by military personnel. It also maintained control of the defense and interior ministries, as well as key cabinet posts. The military also has significant business interests in the country, which are run through two conglomerates, the Myanmar Economic Holdings Limited and the Myanmar Economic Corporation. In 2015, Myanmar held landmark elections. Suu Kyi and the NLD swept to victory, but the military remained effectively in control of the country. The NLD won another election in November 2020. A rival party backed by the junta fared worse than expected. Months later, in February 2021, the military staged the coup. The military has said it will maintain absolute power for a year, but the fate of Myanmar's democracy hangs in the balance. International pressure is mounting for the junta to relinquish power and restore the democratically elected government. But the junta has so far resisted, raising concerns that Myanmar's nascent democracy may be doomed, replaced once again by a military dictatorship.